This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, everyone. For the record, it is officially June 1st, 2022, and we are excited to have everyone here. So today, as you've seen from the webinar registration, this is webinars resources at your fingertips. We are excited to host this and do this every other week of sharing information that helps you run a more efficient practice, helps you get more clients, close more clients. And we're excited to actually have a guest speaker on today who actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think you've actually joined us for one of these yet, Scott. So this is really exciting.
Well, thank you. Why haven't I been invited before?
That's a whole other discussion for another time. Well,
Just
with
kidding.
that said, I want to take care of a few housekeeping things and kind of go through a little bit of the agenda, and then I'm going to pass it off to Scott. I'll do an intro to Scott as well. But first thing with housekeeping, as usual, many of you, I see a few people that have not been on before or too much, but housekeeping is questions. We have a bunch of people on the webinar. So the way that we do this is everyone's muted. And then if you have any questions, go down to the Q&A chat bar and enter them in there, and we'll make sure that we address them either through the information that we're sharing, or we will have time at the end to handle those questions individually. But that's the best way to be able to ask a question, is through the Q&A bar. At the end, like I said, we'll have times for to make sure that we answer those questions. Other than that, this is recorded. You guys will, everyone gets this information in an email sent to them from the recording afterwards, with any other resources that we talk about as well. So if you are taking notes, that's great, that helps, but you will also get the recording, and it will be on our YouTube channel, the Praxis Agency Consulting Group, ACG YouTube channel as well, by the end of the day. With that said, agenda today is, we titled this Resources at Your Fingertips. There is a massive amount of things that you all have access to just by being part of the network. But very specifically, we're going to talk about one of our core partners, which is 3Mark Financial, which has a myriad of resources at your disposal. They just did a facelift to their website, which is very exciting. I love the new look and feel of the website. I think it's a lot cleaner too, which is with as much information as it has, it's much easier to navigate. But to go through all that information, I'm going to actually have someone that I've worked with. Scott, how long has it been now? Like 4 years now? 5 years almost? 4?
Yeah, at least 4.
Yeah. So Scott Myers is one of our internal marketers. You only get to him if there's problems usually. But Scott is always in the background helping us out and pushing resources to us and helping us with direction on a lot of different things. But I'm excited to have him on because he gets to walk you through the new website and some of the resources, and how to leverage it, because this is a phenomenal resource for everyone to use to be able to help you run quotes, look at your life insurance and annuity business, track pending cases, submit cases, look at different resources that 3Mark has put together. There's a lot. So with that said, I am going to pass it off to Scott Myers. Scott Myers has been with 3Mark for quite a long time at this point. Actually, is it close to 10 years, 8 years now?
8 years.
I was going to say 8. I was going to say close to 10, but I know it was a little shy of that.
Yep.
Very good at what he does. He's been a phenomenal resource for Praxis, but I appreciate him taking the time to be able to go through this. I'm going to pass it off to you, Scott. We can already see your screen, but I will kind of bow out for right now. And again, anybody has any questions? I saw one came through. Yes, this is being recorded, so everyone can get the, like I said, it will be in the Praxis YouTube channel afterwards. But without any further ado, Scott, I will pass it off to you. And again, thank you for your time.
Right. You got it. Thanks, Nathan. So yeah, as Nathan said, my name's Scott Myers. My title is I'm a sales director with 3Mark. I've been there for a little over 8 years now. And Nathan and I have worked together. I think about 4.5, close to 5 years since they've been working with us, and it's been a great relationship. And just happy to be on here to talk about the website and all the all the tools and resources that it can offer you. So I've got my homepage up and I'm logged in. And again, if anybody has any questions or anything as we're going, just feel free to let me know. So I'm on the home page right now. To log in, and let me log out so I can show that, because I know that is probably where we should start. If anyone's not been to the site yet, it's just 3Mark, the number 3Mark.com. And so when you go to the home page, it's going to look just like this. If you've not logged in or never been to the site, register right down here underneath the login. You just would click on that. Real easy. And then here you go. Just put in your basic info, name, address, everything that STAR's required. For the referral who referred you to the website down here, you can just put Nathan or whoever. It doesn't really matter. And then you create your own password, put the register now, and then you'll be good to go right away. And then once you've got that, just click on the login, and then you'll have it's available on the site. And as you can see, one of the new features is this page tracks where you go to most often, what you use. And as you can see from mine, electronic app systems, that's our iGo platform for submitting online applications. Online quoting, which is our term engine, the underwriting tab, case status tab, and a contracting tab. So those are just mine. That's what I have set here. And if you want to change any of this, as you can see, it just says to set. Click on the heart icon. And the upper page, which is right here. And so you have the ability to kind of customize the icons there for you, however you want. And then here's just some, as you can see, a new thing we've put out here coming. For those of you that don't know, we do a webinar every other Wednesday. And if you're in our system, you may have received an email. Those usually go out a week ahead. And if you're interested in the topic, who's speaking, the day and the time, and then there's an RSVP. But we also archive these. So if you wanted to listen to one, like just kind of an overview of American National, their products and underwriting, and who they are as a company, and what direction they're heading, is the brief kind of synopsis for archive these. So if you wanted to listen to that one, for example, which happens often, and you're not able to listen to it, we archive these. And the first thing I'll show you is where we put those, and I need to find that.
Hey, Scott.
So let me, I believe it's my 3 mark. Like I said, we moved so far as where everything is. Let's see here. No, it used to be on here and it's not.
Hey, Scott, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I was just gonna say, everyone's saying that you're cutting in and out. And I just wanted to check on audio or anything like that. It sounds like there's a few people that are experiencing that problem.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, but you were sounding like a robot a couple times, like it was catching up to your voice. So I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Okay. Would it help if I muted? No, it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I can hear you fine.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it, see if it comes up again. But right now everyone can hear Scott just
Yeah,
fine.
just
Uh, Literally as I asked that question, you just cut out again.
okay. I didn't say anything.
Oh, there you are again. All right, we'll
Can you hear
keep on
me?
talking. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. Because you like you
Yeah,
you
hey
sound
Scott.
totally fine to me.
Yeah, we just lost you again.
Okay. Would it be better if I called in through the phone?
Yeah, maybe try that for the audio. I'll let you do that. I'll take over for just a couple minutes. I'm gonna do my screen share so we can keep on going, and then
All right.
I'll
Okay.
call
Yeah.
in.
I'll call in right now.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Apologize about that for the audio issues, everyone. Scott will call in. That should fix all that. But in the meantime, like I said, I know he was walking through where to get access to the webinars. So between Praxis and 3Mark, there's a bunch of other resources as well. 3Mark has an archive of every webinar that they do because they do one every other Wednesday as well. They do a webinar and then they archive that, and that's a place where you can go as well to be able to get that information. So there is a lot of different places that you can go to get that. But the archived webinars, the news event, I would went into news events, 3Mark webinars. If you see a title that catches your interest, grab it because this is great information for everyone to have, especially if you're looking more for product specific or sales concepts and ideas. That's a lot of what 3Mark does because they bring on a lot of the carrier relationships on that side as well. So you can look through this and see the archived information, and there's a lot of them. So this is good for people that are leaders and have are agency owners. Directing your agents to get information is great here. Or if you see an upcoming webinar that you want to participate in, you can do that as well. Outside of that, though, so hopefully that made sense on registration. Is super simple. And then what I'm just going to start doing is I'm going to go to the easy one that I know everyone wants to know about, and Scott can jump into this and then he can finish out from there. But I'm going to go into quotes and that tool. So again, if you're not logged in, you're not going to see the quotes tab. So you have to make sure that you're logged in. And we have 3 different quote engines on this side. And the 3 that we use are iPipeline, WinFlex, and VitalQuote. Vital Signs is part of the same thing. It doesn't run quotes, it does carrier ratings and financial reports. But those are the 3 different systems that you can use to quote products that you want to quote. So iPipeline and VitalQuote are designed only for term and GUL. So if you're in a spreadsheet war or you're looking for best price and things like that, then either iPipeline or VitalQuote is going to be the place to go. iPipeline is going to link directly to because iPipeline is also the application site. So that's what this is going to be on here for. You can input information. And then, I mean, I'll do, let's see if we'll do a quick one. So 40, Illinois, term length. Let's see, 15 years, 500,000.
Nathan, can you hear me now?
Yes, and that is a lot
Okay.
better.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem. I'll just finish this off real quick. I was just going to run through the
Sure.
iPipeline quotes, and then I'll pass it back off.
Gotcha.
We can definitely do a more detailed training, but you can either click health profile or select the health class. So if you want to just run it for non-tobacco and run all of them, then it will do all of those. I can also be specific on that as well. If you want to add in the table ratings and things like that, or you can enter in, height, weight. You can add health details and stuff like that, and it'll run that through and see what rating they would get based on that. But for right now, I'm just going to do this and hit get quotes. Through that, look, 0, 4, 15, 19, 2. I'll do 50. There we go. And then this is what the quote's going to look like. So in this, for this specific case, 500,000, assuming a super preferred rating. If I wanted just to go back down to non-tobacco, then we're looking at, Banner has the best price. I'm sorry, I can't help myself, but if I were to choose the difference between Banner and Lincoln, I would choose Lincoln. Because Banner has no great, their convertibility is terrible, and literally you're talking about a 5-cent difference. But outside of that, you can, if it's connected to the iPipeline system, you can literally go in here and submit an application right from that. So anybody that's running term cases, super simple. iPipeline would probably be the easiest place to run. You can get your price comparisons, and then you can do an app right from that button and click on it. It's going to submit it to the carrier. Super easy to do. You can also run GULs on this as well. So I just, got to switch the product basically, and do the same thing, and fill out the information. But that's iPipeline. Super easy. It's connected to the application site. So for everyone that's running term cases, that's the best place to do that in. Outside of that, I'll let Scott take back over, and you can explain VitalQuote and WinFlex. We won't do a WinFlex quote because that's a whole other thing. But that's where you can run your full illustrations. If you need the 30-40 page illustration, or you're running an IUL or whole life case or something like that, that's what WinFlex is for. And then, sorry, Scott, I'll finish this off and I'll pass it off to you, I swear.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you're fine.
And then VitalQuote, same thing. It does very similar to what iPipeline does. It's just not connected directly to the application site. You can run multi-carrier illustrations, but usually I run full quote. Same thing. You can select class. This is going to give you a little bit more options if you're looking to enter health information. So right now I'm running a $1 million case for a 37-year-old out in California, 20-year term. And I hit next. Then I can put in height, weight, tobacco usage, blood pressure, cholesterol, family history, driving with good medical history, foreign travel, all this stuff. And the more information you put in here, the better the information is going to search the underwriting guidelines. And then you get to see a real rating of what that's going to look like. So in this case, based on height and weight chart, they're going to get preferred non-tobacco, looks like. And you can run the price comparisons and things like that as well. This isn't going to link you directly to the application, but this is a great comparison tool where you can print this out. You can get this on a PDF, super easy to do, and see which one's going to be the best for your client. And you can show them, this is why I chose this one. And this is why I chose it based on price. And then you understanding the benefits of, what each policy is doing basically. But that's VitalQuote. So in essence of quoting tools, iPipeline, VitalQuote, that's your term and your GUL. WinFlex is, again, I'm not going to go through WinFlex right now, but if you need the full illustration, you would go into WinFlex to do that, and you can select carriers. You can request carriers to come on here as well. But if you have any questions about running full illustrations, give our team a call at Praxis, or give your agency a call as well. They can help, and we can make sure we get the proper information. But this is a whole half-an-hour training just by itself that I'm going to leave alone for the moment. But that's the resource that you have as a single sign-on page to WinFlex. But those are your quoting tools that you have access to just by logging and registering into the 3Mark website. With that said, Scott, I'll pass it back off to you.
Sure. Thanks, Nathan. And one other thing is on, if you're new to this and if you're having any trouble or you want another kind of training, we actually have some videos that my internal Sean Kramer created that are like tutorial videos that are on our site that Nathan, I don't know if you know where they are, but I can go back into mine if you want and show them, that you can look at. It goes through how to use iPipeline. It goes through how to use VitalQuote. Yeah, training modules right there. Perfect.
Yep.
And so,
actually,
yeah, these are quick.
These are
quick little videos that cover the quoting, how to look at some other modules. There's one-on-one flex too, if you're interested in that. And then there's the SureLC is the contracting database.
Yeah, actually, I thank you for the reminder that I forgot about these videos actually. So tools and resources, training modules right on top. And this is all those things. So I know, like Dustin, you asked about SureLC. Here's the link on SureLC on how to do contracting. And then SmartView, which is your eBix for your sites. We'll go through that, just where it is, but this is great information, and these are nice, easy, super simple to understand. Scott, I'm gonna give you back share your screen again.
Okay. And just to add to that, we are going to be adding more of those modules to this at some point. I'm not exactly sure the exact date when that's going to happen, but I think they'll just they'll release them and put them out as we go in the next few months, because the feedback we've gotten on these are that they're very helpful. As far as if you're like X-Ray, that's the online underwriting system, and then the SureLC, iPipeline, and SmartView. So yeah, they're not long, like maybe 8-10 minutes tops, and those are good to use again under tools and resources training modules. Okay, and I apologize for the audio earlier. Hopefully it's all good now. So Nathan covered quoting. I'm going to go back over here to products and solutions. So eSolutions, this is a really nice tab, and it's very important if you're wanting to submit applications online, because you may or may not know there's a lot of carriers now that have adopted online underwriting, like Streamline. application to underwriting with no exam, no labs. Some of them now have an instant issue option for depending on face amount and age. So there's a lot of different variations of this, and to be quite honest, most of the processes are different depending on which carrier you use, so it can get a little bit confusing because they're not the same. So this eSolutions tab is really good, and again, it's under products and solutions here, to kind of give you a summary of how everybody works. So I clicked on, you can see the first tab is final expense. That's guaranteed issue. So that's true guaranteed issue, no medical questions at all. That's, you got somebody that probably you don't think is going to make it very long, starting at age 50 up to 25,000 maximum. AIG and Gerber, the two that we have. And AIG is 100% online. Gerber, you could do online or a paper app, either one. So those are those two. And if you click on, if you click on the AIG here, it'll give you more info on that product and how this works. Well, okay. Okay, that's redirecting me to eStation. And so this just redirects you to the site. So this is the Gerber site. Once you're contracted, you can register, get your own login, as you see here, and you can actually submit apps from this site if you want, or you can get a paper app from our site and do it that way as well. So those are just the guaranteed issue products. The lab-free instant issue, these are the Foresters and Sagicor. And again, this is one of those instant issues. Again, this smaller amounts. And this link is just going to take you to the site. So you would have to be registered first to get on there, because that's the only way you can submit online with these two products. That's Foresters and Sagicor. And it's, sorry, my computer's taking a while here. Let's see if we'll go to it. Okay. So you could put in the info, and then it'll redirect you once you do that. Okay, and then here's the kind of the more common tabs that you'll see. Lab-free accelerated underwriting. It'll give you all the carriers that have this available. Again, you click on that, it'll take you to the link, redirect you to the site. Drop ticket, full underwriting. This is a much shorter app. Generally does not have to be medical questions, any of that. None of that gets completed. It's just basic info on the client, and you can actually submit these in about 5 to 10 minutes yourself through our website. And then the client will either get a phone call or an email with a link, and then they kind of take it from there and they'll answer the questions. And depending on those answers, if an exam is required, the carrier will take care of that and order it. If not, then they will move to an offer. And those are, AIG, Banner, Mutual of Omaha, and North American, actually Prudential now as well. Those, depending on the carrier, some will go up to $3 million non-med if they qualify, depending on age. And we have a grid, I'll need to find that, for accelerated underwriting that'll give you that. In fact, let me see if I can find that here. So under underwriting resources, and this is running slow, my apologies. We have an accelerated underwriting grid, and once it comes up, I can Yeah, this is not it. Shoot, I'm sorry. It will show you all the carriers that offer that and what the amounts are that they'll go up to, the limits.
And
Well,
everything, I was just gonna say,
we,
everything that
we
you're seeing
moved
on
it,
here
and
is
I apologize. What's that,
no,
Nathan?
no worries. I was just gonna say, as going through all this, as you're seeing this information on underwriting resources, I know he's looking for something specific. But the underwriting resources that he just went under has a lot of grids, PDFs, information that you can use to help understand, especially if you have clients that deal with health issues, whatever it may be. This can help you have the guidelines to go in that direction, and see which carrier is going to be the best fit. We won't spend a lot of time going through this on this end, but there's a lot of information back here on underwriting guidelines, and 3Mark does a phenomenal job in the area of impaired risks and health issues that we can help out with. So between the X-ray system, which is the pre-underwriting tool, which you have to ask to get access to, and the underwriting guidelines that we have access to on the website, you can, as long as you learn how to navigate this, not like Scott, clearly, as long as you know how to navigate it, you can be with the client and get information relatively quickly without having to log into, a website or a carrier website and go to, 5-10 different places to try and get information. That's what 3Mark is designed, is built around, so that you have ease of access to information without having to go through each carrier and see what's going on with them.
And I finally found it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
So,
perfect sense.
yeah, they moved it. Like I said, bear with me. I apologize. So under products and solutions, if you click on life insurance, it gives you the underwriting tab right here, accelerated underwriting programs. Click on that. Y'all probably thought I was thinking this wasn't real, but it is. So here's the grid. As you can see, last updated at the end of 2021, there hasn't been any changes as far as we know up till now, but we will keep this updated for you. And as you can see in alphabetical order from the left, AIG, scrolling down, it gives you everything. And I use this a lot because this can kind of sometimes, on a younger, healthier client that may not want to do an exam, this is a great resource because it gives you all the carriers, what age and amounts they'll go to, what rate class, if there's a phone interview, what requirements they do go through, how the submission method would go. Most of these are IGO. And then to the right here, you see guide. It'll give you, if you want to click on it, let's see if I can find one. Okay, so here's Banner, for instance. If you click on that guide link, and for that specific carrier's, like, just a more detailed description of how the process works. And then Banner's got some good info here on like exclusions and what could be a potential knockout. So again, it's accelerated underwriting programs. That's a really great grid I use. And like Nathan was saying, we have the underwriting guidelines for every carrier that we offer. You just have to click, and it's under, you can get to it a couple of different ways, but it's usually under underwriting guidelines. And that will give you, let me go back to that. I'll pull it up for example. It'll give you build charts, based on the age and amount they're applying for. If there's an EKG required, third financial info, if there's any additional third-party financial they might need, any of that. So a lot of good information in the underwriting tab. And again, okay, here it is. So you would just click on any carrier. So I'll do American National, and you just select the product, and then you click on underwriting resources, look up, and it'll give you a whole grid of what requirements are for agent amounts. And as soon as this pulls up, again, it's running a bit slow. Normally at the office, this is much faster, but
No worries.
okay, here we go. So this just gives you an example of, and this will look like for any of the carriers you select. So the ages are a top from left to right up here. Obviously younger ages, small amounts, nothing as far as exam goes. And then as you get to, you know, $500,000 to $1 million, see blood, urine, paramedic exam, MVR, inspection report. So anyway, and this will take you all the way up to $10 million. Go ahead, Nathan.
No, that was good. I was just feeling gaps. Like these underwriting guidelines are very useful for everyone to be using. There's a lot of them, and whether it's I was gonna say underwriting.
I was gonna say I love the build chart option as well. We use that a lot, and you can also use that in the iPipeline term quoter because it'll ask you if you want to put the build in as well. But this gives you the build for every carrier.
So and I'd say that's underwriting guidelines and kind of the underwriting resources tab. I know, so what we've gone through so far is, you know, registering for the site. You get access to a lot of information. We went through quotes. So where to get term and UL quotes with Vital Quote or iPipeline. If you're looking for the full illustration for like permanent policies and things like that, then that's going to be WinFlex. We went through tools and resources, which is, you know, they have the training modules, which is probably one of the more important things to understand, because if you know where to find the training modules, then you can find where to get access to other information, because they've done a phenomenal job on those modules. The only other, there's a few other things that I wanted to go through because I know I want to leave sometimes for questions to see if there's some specific things that you guys are either looking for, like, hey, where do I find this? Or I need this type of information. Is this on this website? So I want to leave some time for that in a little bit. But a couple other things Scott walked through is, I'd say one is on tools and resources, the forms and IGO. So submitting an application and being able to get access to paper apps. So after you find out the carrier that you're looking for, where Scott just went, tools and resources, and that forms and IGO, this is a phenomenal tool that we 3Mark pays a pretty penny for everyone to get access to. But if you're looking for marketing materials or paper applications, I don't know who the heck is still writing paper applications. There's a few people out there. Actually, there's a bunch more, but this is where you can go to get access to that.
Yeah, so you could just click up here, you pick any of the carriers, and I'll just banner new business, and then whatever state you're going to be writing this in. So I know a lot of people are in Illinois over there with you guys. Term. And so once you click this, the highlighted sections, this gives you all the required forms right here. And then you have the ability to email, or you can print it all out in a package, or it'll email in a PDF for you. You just click here, put in who you want to send it to, from, send, and it's done.
Yeah, that's.
You want me to go into IGO too, Nathan?
Yeah, I was gonna say just real quick. So that's if you need paper apps. And then if you need the online application, you know, this is where Scott's going. Now, I'm going to premise this by saying not every single carrier is on the iGo iPipeline system. But the vast majority of them are. So if you're looking to write a life insurance case, this is the first place that I would go to look for, whether it be term, universal life, whole life, final expense case, whatever it is. This is where you go to find all those products, and you can submit an application right through the system. And here's the advantage of doing it this way. Because I know we could all log into the carrier and submit an application that way. It's literally the same system. But if they're in here and you submit an application, then it goes directly to the new business team at 3Mark. So Alex Perez is one of our main contacts at 3Mark for the life new business side. And what this allows us to do is it gets submitted to the carrier, but it also allows a message to go out to Alex and the new business team so that they can track that. They can put that into Smart Office, which you're going to see in a little bit. They can give you updates on it. And that makes your process a lot easier, because if you're submitting 10 cases with 3 different carriers, you can go to one access point to get all that information and track what's going on with your cases, rather than logging into each of those 3 different places to find out what's going on with all those 10 cases. So Scott's kind of walking through an example of a case, but super simple. If you've done one application, you've pretty much done them all. There's some nuances with each carrier, of course, but if you're looking to submit a case, going to iGo and going right here, you can submit an online application right there. Anything you would add to that, Scott?
Yeah, and to Nathan's point earlier, whenever you do submit, especially like a drop ticket, like you see Banner here, drop ticket, AIG as their ticket, that does not require an email initially to go to the client for e-signature. It's just you put the info in. Again, it's a very brief summary, like basic information, client, coverage amount. They need a good phone number and email for the client. You put your information as an agent. And once you hit submit, someone in our office gets notification of that. And we've usually got it uploaded and sent to the carrier within an hour.
It's a really smooth system. It's nice how that works. And the only hiccup with drop tickets, just as a warning to everyone, is you're losing being the point of contact. So sometimes, the client doesn't answer a phone call from a number they don't know, or from a carrier, things like that. So just be aware of that to stay on top of the process to make sure carriers are able to get a hold of the clients. But yeah, it offloads that to the carrier rather than you taking all that information.
Right. And just one suggestion I'd make, Nathan, to that is if it's your first time submitting a case with us and you're doing it through like one of the, drop ticket or a quick ticket online process, once we've got it and the app and uploaded on the carrier site, you'll get it. The agent will get an email just alerting them that we've received the case. It's been sent, and so we have Alex's info on the site as well. So if you have questions about what's going to happen next, or anything in that regard, just to process, feel free to email Alex directly, or whoever the case manager is from our office, and feel free to ask questions, and they can kind of walk you through what to expect, like what's going to happen next. It's usually a contact from the carrier to the client by phone or email. We're seeing a lot more going to email now with a link. It seems to be a lot smoother. And that way, as long as you can make sure that the client understands what the next step is in the process and all that, it runs a lot smoother.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I said, I was going to give 3 more minutes to just cover a couple other things. There's so much that we can go over on the website, and then I want to leave room for questions. So I will say, everyone that's on, if you are thinking of like, okay, well, I need to know where this is, or I have a question about, the resources on the website, start putting them in the Q&A because we'll make sure that we address those. But the couple other areas that I wanted to highlight is number one is the contact us page. That is going to have at the top right, that is going to have everyone's information. So point of contacts at 3 Marks of the new business team. There's the corporate directory right there. We of course have this information as well, and your agencies have this information on their important contact sheet. But if you need that type of information, I mean, here's the corporate directory. So our point of contacts, just so everyone knows, is Alexandra Gala, which was up is our contracting person. She's the one that's helping process contracts. The other person that's important is Alex Perez, which processes life new business. Then the other person that's important is going to be Bo Blowen, which does annuity processing. And if you're looking for information on that side, on the annuity end, then Bo is our point of contact on that. Those are our 3 main points of contact. Everyone else is more administration. And I'd say the last other person is oh my gosh, Betsy. Just if there's any issue with Smart Office. I literally was thinking, it's still stuck in my brain, Scott, of Cameron Diaz. From the,
Betsy Riley.
Yeah, Betsy Riley. If you're having Smart Office issues, which is the last thing that I want to walk through, just where that's at and what's entailed in there, that's going to be important to know as well, and go from there. Everyone else, talk to us. We'll make sure we direct you to the right people and those different in different cases or things that you're dealing with. But just know that you have a support team behind you to help you out in different directions. Really quick, so the last 2 things that were on my list was Smart Office, just showing where that's at, and then annuity resources then as well. So if you're registered and you're logged in, and you click on that My Cases tab, and then you click on Smart Office. We won't go through this right now. There is a training module on this, but you're going to be able to see all of your pending and in-force cases in one location. Super useful tool. So if you're writing, again, you're writing multiple carriers, whether it be an annuity or a life case or a final expense case or a term case, you can log into Smart Office and you'll be able to see those cases and what's going on with them through underwriting so that you can stay on top of them. And of course, the new business team can stay on top of them as well. Again, there's a module on this. There's a bunch of training that goes along with it. Just know that that's something that you have access to, where you have a place you can aggregate all of your pending business in one place so that you can see what's happening with the underwriting process. The last other thing really quick, and then like I said, I wanted to open up for questions, is products and solutions and then annuities. So one of the tools that you have access to that, for the record, I don't want to get in trouble again, so I'll try not to, but is Annuity Rate Watch, which if you're looking in the annuity marketplace for rate comparisons, you're looking for caps, spreads, floors, bonuses, income products, you're looking for to run, do some quotes and do some illustrations, or rather do some comparisons with a few different products, then you can go through here. And Annuity Rate Watch, just for the record, if you were to get this on your own, you're probably paying anywhere between $60 to $100+ a month for this tool. It is a phenomenal free tool that you get just by having access to the 3 Mark network. Again, we're not going to go through a training on this right now. Bo Blowen is the point of contact. He can help walk through this. But if you're working with any annuity this is one of the places, and we're actually 2 weeks, so not next week, but the week after for our next webinar, we're going to have Bo on to talk about annuity resources. We'll also walk through some of the other things that we have access to, like Annuities Genius and things like that, that can help you do all those different aspects. But these are your annuity resources. So Protestant Solutions, go to annuities. There's a phenomenal amount of information here as well. Again, I will premise this with everything. The better you can navigate this website, the better information you're going to be able to have access to. But if you ever have a question, that's why we have people on staff. You have people you have access to. You have your agency contacts. You have Praxis, to be able to get access to information and know where things are, because it takes a little bit of time to navigate stuff. But this is part of your team. All those people that you've seen back there is there that support you and what you're doing. There's a lot of things that we do in the background that you don't even know about that helps you in your practice. But with that said, I know we're coming up with time. Does anybody have any questions? Like, is there something that you're like, I'm looking for this type of information. Where can I find that? Dustin, I appreciate you asking questions throughout the time period as well of just clarifying things. And there's no such thing as a dumb question, except for if you ask it 3 times in a row. That's what I consider to be a dumb question, because I already told you. But Scott, anything else that you would add, and anybody has any questions on this?
No, I don't know if people saw, but when I went to the Annuity Rate Watch tab, and Bo will probably cover this if he's going to go through the site when y'all do your call later, but it asks for like a verification code. That's a one-time thing. So once you've done that, when you go back in from that same device, it won't ask you to get that verification. It'll just take you in there.
That is absolutely it. But yes, there is a lot of information down here. Again, Scott, I appreciate you filling in the gaps and helping.
No problem, Nathan. And yeah, I mean, one thing I tell a lot of new people with us is just register for the site when you can, log in, and just kind of, search around. Honestly, the hardest thing is finding what you're what tool you're looking for to use, and once you learn where things are, and like even I was having some issues because we've only had this has only been up a couple of weeks and I haven't gone through everything yet, but yeah, once you find where you need to go, there's tons of info, great resources to use managing your business, quoting. And there's a bunch of stuff we didn't even touch on, but go through on your own and search around when you have time. And we've made it to where it really is a fantastic tool for agents to use to help do more business.
To back that up from our perspective, I mean, I know agents that you have this bookmarked and use this a lot, and they're very specific with me that it helps cut down on the amount of time that they have to do on back end stuff, because they don't have to call carriers and talk to their marketing departments. Once they understand where this information is, they don't have to call. One of the biggest things was, especially with the underwriting guidelines, is I know agents that would call 4 or 5 different carriers and say, hey, this is a case that I'm working on, would you take this? And with the systems that we have here, it cut down a lot of their time of what they had to do to find the carrier that would take that client with all their health issues and things like that. So that's phenomenal on that end. I've heard, and I'm tooting Bo's horn a little bit for the next 2 weeks in our webinar, but Bo has been a phenomenal resource in the annuity marketplace, and helping with direction and things like that. And we've seen as a whole an increase in annuity sales because of Bo Blowen, basically. So leverage the things that you have access to. The more you learn this, and it's a learning curve at the beginning, but once you have it down, it will reduce the amount of time that you need to do things in the future as you're dealing with different cases. And that's the core exciting piece for me of why these resources exist and why we're constantly looking for them, so that you don't have to do the research yourself. We can kind of point you in the right direction without having to figure out all that on your own. But like I said, any other questions? Scott, you did such a great job. There's no questions.
Wow, awesome. Well, sorry about the audio in the beginning. Hopefully this turned out all right.
Technology is always fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think my laptop's acting up a bit today. It's slow too, so who knows?
Yep. Well, I won't keep everyone on. You guys have 2 minutes. You guys can win back the day with. Again, we will add this recording to the Praxis YouTube channel. It'll be sent out to you as a recording. But if there are any other questions, give us a call, contact us. We would love to help out, and we appreciate everyone's time. Scott, again, thanks for filling in the gaps
No problem.
being with us and spending your time. So everyone have a phenomenal rest of the day, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Nathan.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.